Second try. Okay, we're live this time. Woohoo! All right, I guess the other video just did not come through. I started one, I tried. It's an easy, and I had glitch after glitch. It looks like it was a timing issue because it started before. The time didn't match. I think that was the issue. I was supposed to start at 5:05 a.m. and it was 5:15. So I just reset it and started again. So apparently I probably lost all the other chat stuff. Now I do want, I was intending on calling up some of my friends and because we haven't for a long time. Just want to give you a bit of an update on what's been happening. First of all, as you can see, I've had a large number of skin infections, bug bite. I think most of these are spider. When I'm sleeping, they tend to come down on my face. And I also had a bee sting me on my shoulders while I was sleeping one morning. Last night, I had at least 4 rats try nibbling on my fingers and toes, which, what the fuck is that? How many years have I been outside and never had that? So that started. We've had a cold spell, which was nice. I got all sleepy and cozy and really enjoyed my sleep. I've been wearing earplugs to cut down on the noise. And what I found by wearing earplugs is that start ringing, just like when you've been at a rock concert when you're younger. I found that by long sleep periods, a number of the physical ailments I got tend to deteriorate. The thing is getting up and make sure that you're properly fed. You have to use the bathroom occasionally, right? There's certain hygiene things you got to maintain, like I get up, put some water over my head. Believe it or not, I've been processing walnuts, and this year I've done it in a tank of water. It's cut down on the blackness. Because my hands literally will go like chocolate brown as if I was an African. And customarily, I've gotten in the habit of when I'll get an itch and I'll go like this, and I get these big brown black blotches all over the fucking place. So I've been trying to that because occasionally I do have to go in public, and I know I'm looking a little rough, but I'm doing a last-ditch attempt to follow someone's advice that seems to resonate true in my own soul. Holy Walker, you're the person I'm talking about. I'd love to have Holy Walker and Cat Wolf join me right now. I think what I'll do, I'll try and send this over to Facebook as I'm doing it. I don't even know if I can. Probably not. Manage. Don't have access, so I can't get to the dashboard when I'm in this. That's fucked. Hey, it's changed. Okay, I can't gain access to some of the tools I had. See, it'd be nice to have an option here where I can just invite on the fly, right? Maybe I should have done this on Facebook. Okay, well, let's get to the points. I haven't done many videos for quite a while now. There's been an enormous amount of activity at the camp, right? We talk about home security, insecurity. The city's been here, and landlord's been here, and interruptions for a while. My sleep interrupted. So the last week or so, it's been fairly quiet, especially with the earplugs in. I leave a fan running even when it's fairly cold. It was like 2 degrees last night or the night before. I went outside to get my pan of water, and it was frozen to the table, so it was below -2. Like, we definitely had frost. It was a good thick layer of it. As it melted in the morning, it started filling up some of my buckets outside, which were only there to blow now. Uh, as we get through the year, you observe all the different things going on at different times. And at first, I mean, the first couple of years, you think you remember, but you don't. Or I thought I was, and I didn't. But now it's starting to come back to me. Like I'm noting really carefully exactly where the sun comes at different points of the day, not according to the clock, but according to of sleep, wake, do what I do, right? Which, by the way, these things, I can feel it on the inside of my cheek. It's been suggested as hair follicles that are infected because of the scruff growing back. And for the record, this little bit of scruff growing doesn't look like much. But I'll tell you what a difference after being totally shaved for like, I don't know how many years now. Whoa! When you're outside, I'm not wearing a hat as much. That's a start. When I'm sleeping, I don't wear them at all now. It's making a huge difference. When I go indoors, like right now, there's minimal heat, so I can charge my bicycle battery, my bike battery. Okay. It's not supposed to get below freezing or get particularly below 12 degrees or something, I've been told. So I got minimal heat on. But I also got a fan blowing over here to keep the air circulating. I'm opening up the side windows. I want to get as much ventilation. If I didn't have the electronics, and I guess the other thing is food that can't be frozen, and if I had the ability to make fire outside, which I do have the ability, I've been vetoed by the landlord. And this is, I was talking about on the last video, I tried to do and got quashed. And I'm getting sick of that. That's why I'm not even bothering with putting titles and shit on them anymore. I'm just going to put them out and go back and edit and do whatever later. Got to get the material out there. I have other things I feel I should be doing right now, but I was unable to get on with it because I felt that if I didn't say the things I've got to say, this project I'm working on could fall apart any time. The city has already condemned where I'm living, but not because I'm living here or anything like that. It's because landlord was never supposed to be able to rent me. So it's creating a tricky conundrum. There's a lot of gray area stuff. And to put it in a nutshell, in my personal opinion, why can't the city just let us here at the property deal with their own problems? I don't think the landlord would bug me nearly as much if the city wasn't bugging him all the time. It's something that I wish I could just stay the fuck out of, that I wasn't involved in. I just needed a place where the Occupy crew, they were supposed to like run the barrier to make sure that I don't get interrupted. Watching over your shoulder. And like right now, I come out one morning. Well, I just woke up a few mornings ago with a sawzall. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I don't even care. When I come out, I look around and there's these new security cameras put up. And outside lights and stuff, but they're not working still, whatever. I got so many complaints and at the same time, so many nice things to say. I'm not sure how to balance it at this point. I guess to stay positive. Okay, staying outside is, in my opinion, at least for me, a number one key to being healthy. When I'm outside with my activities going on, which, they're nature driven, okay? It starts raining out and gets really cold and dank and damp like it did just a little while ago. 5 degrees, holy fuck, is that ever hard to deal with when it's raining? I almost pray for it to drop below freezing so that I can feel more comfortable. However, I got loads of blankets. I have accumulated, what would you call it, the on-fly skills, the moment-by-moment need to know kind of whatever, where I feel I can handle any situation outdoors. When I got low, I used to panic. If I didn't have a few eggs and a few cans of stuff and a little bit of meat in the fridge or something. Now I can be completely out of man-made food from the store, out of bread. I go without butter most of the time. Every now and then I get a little treat. Someone buys a thing of butter that isn't really butter, and I get the benefit of those little things. And they're nice little treats, and I love it. I mean, overall, I got an incredibly awesome support team. Um, Everyone seems to facilitate my idiosyncrasies. Uh, you imagine someone showing up like I am all the time at your place. How you gonna? Can be a little embarrassing, I guess, for some. Family's been excellent. I have a few friends here at the camp too that are absolutely fabulous. Uh, I don't, I don't have any real fear except not, or at least accomplish what I set out to do here. Now I've had a number of abodes I've tried to make, and they're squashed. To me, even in here, it's like this is not exactly Hotel California. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I've been able to spend the time outside and sit and just observe nature and watch the different processions of things, um, different insects. I've been doing a lot of composting. I've been gathering wood, uh, working toward that zero waste. I've literally brought in absolutely no garbage now in over a year. None. Everything I've brought here has had a particular purpose to be used, and it got used and still being used. Now, granted, some of it are plastic and metal containers. What's a car? Plastic and metal. It's garbage. So we got to be careful what we call garbage when someone's using it to actually make their abode, reducing their carbon footprint. Uh, I don't know how many years now, but no running water, no gas. I've been running off of one 15 amp circuit, one 15 amp, 110 volt electrical circuit to cover all my heating and eating and cooking needs. And even that I wouldn't need if I was granted the privilege here at the camp, barbecue or some sort of fire pit just outside. And in fact, with the skills I have now, I know I could make an abode almost anywhere. The thing is finding a spot where it's not going to be invaded. Um, in the last little while, I've been out to some of the homeless camps and actually had the privilege of being invited into their camp. I was on the trail. I stopped by and I yelled over, "Greetings. I'm passing. Um, I'm wondering if there's a chance you might be available to have a little chat. I'm somewhat homeless myself, and I'm looking for some advice if you can help me out." "Oh, come on over." We sat and talked, and I learned a lot. It was the first. It wasn't really the first time, but this time I was more, I'll say, in tune with the reality of it. It's like right now, the city has already basically said the landlord's fighting it in court, I guess, uh, that I'm not allowed to live here. I was never allowed to live here, but I have lived here over 10 years now. And when I arrived, I'm sure almost everyone I know personally will agree I was in a really bad way mentally. And they've all noticed me calm down and get my shit together again because I've been allowed the space and time to start reintegrating with nature and do what Dave loves to do. But now I feel like I'm under threat again. So, do you invest your time and energy in building another dwelling? Do I move back inside where I know I'm not allowed to be? Do I move outside where I know there's constant? Already had the landlord pull one of my abodes apart. I'm not sure to this day why. I still haven't addressed it because there's another challenge is like, personality conflicts, right? Number one way to fucking disinfect. Oh, got a big lump in the back of my head here that itches like crazy, and I keep picking it off. I have days where everything seems to clear up, and then something happens. I don't know if it's what I eat, whatever. I don't know. Oh, getting back to eating and food. So a few days ago, I picked these two mushrooms that I've ate them before, but these ones seemed a tiny bit different. But I thought, fuck, it's from the same kind of tree. They were young and healthy, clean. There's only two of them. I mean, they're only almost the size of a small portobello, okay? But they're oyster mushroom, or of the oyster mushroom family. And I've ate these before without any ill effect. And there was two of them, and probably weighed a little over a half pound between them. They're really dense mushrooms, super meaty. You cut them up, and it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's not like fish. It's not like beef. It's not like pork. It's nice. It's got a great chew to it. It's contenting. It has a meaty character to it. It's satisfying. And just adding two of these to my pot of stew, holy fuck, I got filled up. I felt great. And about 10 hours later, I noticed a huge shift in my conscious awareness. I started to lose touch a bit. Now, it could be I'm getting old and going crazy, okay? I also eat a lot of little berries and stuff, rub them on my skin, datura. I sometimes nibble on mushrooms that I don't know. I'm just testing out, okay? I mean, I've only got so much time left. What the fuck I got to lose? So I check it out. Well, fuck. After a little bit of a head trip, I end up crashing, and I've slept since Wednesday, and it's now Sunday. I've only been awake a few hours here and there to eat, take a shit, piss, whatever, and drink. This is not ginger ale, by the way. As far as sugar goes, I've almost eliminated that from my diet completely. I'm finding that even a little bit of sugar now, and I start getting some unpleasant effects happening. I used to take a lot of ADHD medication and painkillers. And right now, I'm on the lowest dose I've had in probably 10 years. I'm about 10% away from completely being off them, which is fucking amazing because I feel like I'm still functioning okay. But that's as long as I'm not around other people. And I've become incredibly sensitive to noise, more so than I've ever been before. With wearing the earplugs, you get that ringing. No, just this past night, it's like 5:30 in the morning now, but around 3 o'clock or 2:30 or so when I got up, I took the earplugs out, and the ringing in my ears was lower than it's been in quite a while. And outside noise wasn't that loud, but it seemed loud. Everything man-made. I could hear machinery. I could hear voices from across the valley. Like there was some fucked up shit. It's like, holy fuck. My hearing has become a little more sensitive, which is good. But I realized how loud the ambient noise is around us all the time. And it's affecting us. You know, I got no heat on in here, and I'm boiling hot. Just being inside. Sitting outside right now, I'd probably need another jacket on if I was sitting here doing nothing. But because the air isn't moving, body temperature, it built up quite an amount of heat. So I don't know where I'm going with all this because I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to survive the winter out here. I mean, right now, if I could get, well, I got some tough issues to deal with too. Okay, as many of you know, I like to have my clean water, my beverage, my elixir that I brew myself and put into bottles to recycle, right? Just keep reusing them. The place where I've been, which is about 8-9 kilometers from here, I got to make several trips on my bike a week to do that. And that's only the tip of it. It takes up other people's time and energy and space. So we want to have a spot where I can do it here. And I've been working through some logistics of being able to do it in an area where I don't have running water, where it's filthy. I've got problems with occasionally problems. I'm sure if I was fermenting, the rats would be trying to take. I'm worried about them getting into my brew, so I can't just do an open bucket. Plus, there's a potential in running over top of the blanket I put over the bucket, pissing and shitting on that, not dropping into my brew. It's not much different than the water that I've got here if I hook into the landlord's water system. And again, he's got city water. How do we get the hot water? How do I boil it if I can't have a fire? I'm not feeling comfortable with using even the 15 amp circuit I'm using. I've got one extension cord plugged in, and I run everything off of that. But I've noticed over the years that one outlet starts to burn. Every outlet here, without saying too much, the electrical was never installed right. So unless I can run a direct line feed, I'm not confident using it. So I'm stuck in a tricky conundrum of damned if I do, damned if I don't. Landlord's worried that I'm going to cause fire because I smoke. I'm worried we're going to have fire because of the electrical, the way it's installed. And I'd love you to all see, but it might be an impossibility. No blame here. I feel that sometimes external forces, like other than Tom wanting to do a solar panel, he's pretty much left me alone. The only reason I'm complaining about it right now is because with all the interference of uninvited intrusions, I would say, I've gotten really stressed out, and I realize I have a problem with dealing with that. And the easiest way is for me to just retreat. So I've been kind of keeping to myself, going back to the night shift. You only get so much done at night. And I'm torn because at night, I sit outside. I'll sit back, have my coffee, maybe a bite to eat, look up at the stars. And it feels so awesome, especially from around 2:33 in the morning until about now. 5. It's the quietest time of the day. You see that bright sky, the cool, crisp air. You breathe it in, you're feeling like, you're torn between, my God, I'd love to share this with someone, and I don't want no one fucking here with me because this feels good on its own. Watch the garden grow. So right now, I've got this thing where I've got to... that's getting hot. I got to make sure that... I've got an e-bike now, right? So I got to make sure that the battery doesn't get too hot, too cold. I've got all this electronic stuff, tablets and headlights and USB flashlight things that I got to charge up regularly. Little power modules so I can extend the life of them and stuff. It's noticed everything man-made breaks down. My toaster ovens broke down, crock pots broke down. I've got new ones. Well, not new, but I still have backup on some of them. I still got another microwave. Computer breaks down. Cameras break down. Bicycle breaks down. You get flat tires. You got repairs to do. You got maintenance to do. You got oiling and lubing, and holy shit. After a while, it's like, do I really want to spend my life looking after fucking machinery? Now, yeah, trees decompose too, but at a different rate. And there's something so different about the natural order of things out there. I lack the words, the expressions of the heart to fully enunciate what I'm wanting to express. Part of me does like the idea of being immobile and kind of like I can get on my bike and just go anywhere and camp, whatever, but realistically, it's not feasible, period. I'm one of them people that wants my own homestead, a place where I can tend to the land that I occupy, where I can develop it, use my own energy to grow the food. Now this year I've gotten more food this year, and I've gotten more food from my own personal little garden here and survived for longer than I've ever done before, with more variety, more nutrition, more satisfying. I mean, I hardly ever feel hungry anymore. And I'm about 90% vegan at this point. The hard part is I know I'm addicted to meat because whenever I see it, my mouth salivates and I go, oh yeah. And I found that chewing pumpkins, seeds, and gourds, I mean, I should have brought one in to show you. I got these gourds I found over in the grapery. The downside is all the fucking crap they've been spraying up there. You can taste it in the meat of the produce. Uh, I used to go over and get a couple of bunches of grapes this time of year because they used to taste really. I can't even eat them now. There's this something about them. I feel sick afterwards. There's something not right. Notice the record amount of spray being used this year, and the grapes, honestly, in my opinion, are the worst I've ever seen them look. And maybe that's what all this is, infections from eating shit I shouldn't eat. Someone told me it's because when you've never had your natural body grow, there's a lot of adjustment, okay? So all these spots started coming out, even when they were cleared up. Coming out when I started just letting everything grow. And I go out and I scrub with, get this, when it gets really bad, I scrub it with marijuana leaves because it's like a brush. I just roll them up and just and then rinse it off with walnut water. And it feels delicious. I do the same thing with soap, clean up with soap, and these flare out like crazy the next day. It might feel good for 2-3 hours, but then the itch and the burning just, it gets to the point where you feel it right inside your cheek and mouth. So I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if it's anything to even worry about. Everyone's got something up with it, right? Surprised how little heat is really needed. Like we got these huge areas of now outside. I got a dwelling where when I wake up and I'm sitting there, I got sticks like this right over top of me. It's just big enough for my body to lay in. I get up, I stand up, and the clearance above my head is like this before I've got the roof. It's not finished. It's temporary. It was just an idea. Um, Technically, it is the landlord's space, so ultimately I'll be vacating this whole fucking lot, and I'd like to have permission from the city, people around. Yes, you can occupy that space out there in the Boy Scout camp and develop it. I'm not looking to make it into some fucking resort or anything. The idea is zero waste, zero signature, total harmony with the land. I know I have those skills. I need the environment now where I can exploit them, improve it. I know we say we got nothing, but you know what? Sometimes we do have shit to prove. Some will call it ego. I don't give a flying fuck. I love my ego, so whatever, okay? If you think ego's a bad thing, then maybe it's because you don't have a good ego. I don't know. The psychology drives me crazy. I have to pee. I also have to get something to drink. And I have to open up the tarp here because it's getting way too fucking hot in here just from me sitting in here. Like right now, there's zero heat on. The only heat is coming from the electronics, but because I've got this so well insulated, and it's not well insulated really. As you can see, it's basically cardboard and little bits of fabric and garbage, and it works. I haven't been in here in quite a while. It's almost a year now. First, the animals, there's a lot of rodents and things go through it. They clear everything up, and after a while, they just vacate because there's nothing left to eat. And they find another spot. So as long as I don't leave food scraps in here, even the bugs all disappear. They tend to accumulate where the food is. Sometimes our bodies are food for some of these critters. Now, I know some of this is probably spider bites because I looked tonight, I was sitting there. Two or three of them come down. I thought, all right, where's it going? Yeah, they come right on your skin. It's like, kind of creepy. But you know what's more creepy? Someone come into your fucking bedroom waking you up. Someone on the roof at 5 in the morning with a fucking sawzall. Someone putting spy cams all over the fucking place. All the noise. Having to go get your driver's license taken so you can still get your meds. See, I feel like I'm overwhelmed sometimes with just trivial bullshit. I wish I had the fortitude to break free from all of it. I guess what I really want is a partner that can help me get through it, that can walk with me on this journey. Because I could rather jump off a bridge to the society I came from. I know from my own personal experience that my body functions better when I don't eat meat. It does pacify a person, cause us to feel tired and lethargic. It actually wears us out more than it does anything else. So for a couple of days, I've lived off of potatoes that I grew my own shit, literally my own shit, mixed with garbage, like household garbage, tin cans, plastic bottles, blah, 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 household garbage, piled in a heap. And I threw potatoes in it, and I've been harvesting them for the last couple of weeks and almost get enough every day to eat. Gone out and I found, I actually grew a couple of pumpkins. Got a couple of gourds, a few that I found up the road, actually about 10 or 12 of them, and I've ate almost that exclusively for the last several days. I found when you're hungry, those seeds that are raw that I thought you had to cook and just chew them up. It's like eating meat, and it feels great on the teeth. Very satisfying too, and amazingly easy on my digestive system. Now, last night or the night before, I cooked up a lot of greens, some lentils and barley and stuff. I got so bloated and so full from that, and so much gas, and the amount of shit that my body produced was fucking amazing. The weirdest part, and the best part, clean wipe. When I took a shit, grabbed the toilet paper, and there's nothing there. Like totally fucking clean wipe. Money I could one told didn't eat meat because when I eat meat, the first thing that happens is it starts getting runny and gooky. Same with any dairy product. You end up with this pasty fucking tarry shit. You gotta use like 5 pieces of toilet paper to clean up your fucking ass. I'm not sure what else to say. There's a lot of instability for home security here right now. I'm torn between just move outside, continue what I'm doing. Like I need backup. They got a place here where it's like, okay, this can be built where I can do a little bit of brewing in here. One of these containers, technically, when I went west, I had a container only a quarter the size of that, and I was able to get 2 liters of beer off of it a day. I mean, it was not really real beer, but it was a carbonated beverage that was still bubbling, quite active and alive. It satisfied my nice feeling. Okay. And it was from just throwing berries in it, bits of leaf matter that I would find, anything that tasted good and I thought I could eat. I throw it in. A couple of packs of sugar left over from McDonald's coffee or Tim Hortons coffee, whatever. Throw that in. And it did the trick for almost 3 months going across Canada and back. But I've really become accustomed to enjoying my incredibly well brewed beer. And at a price that I could never afford otherwise. And there's some people like my brother have helped me do that, and I much appreciate it. But right now, the area where I can brew it is being canceled out. I'm being told it's time to move on. So I'm looking for alternatives. And yeah, you know what? You get life's uncertain. You don't know where you're going and what you're doing, and you're accustomed to certain things. And you found a comfortable niche, comfortable flow where you're feeling good and you just liked what you're doing. Everything's good. But now there's a change. Some people thrive in that. I'm not one of them. I've had things the way I like them. I mean, really like them several times in my life. And as I reach that point, that peak point of, someone comes in and throws a fucking monkey wrench right into it or burns it down. I'm getting sick of it. I don't want to live in a world where I got this kind of fucking crap going on. I don't like coming outside and wanting to be totally alone for a bit. But you're in the beck and call of it. He comes, Dave, what now? And really, even a close friend wouldn't do that shit. In fact, I got a couple of close friends at the camp here that they totally respect my space. I respect theirs. We respect each other. If any of us step out of line, we all talk to each other. But the one person that doesn't seem to even respond to that is the landlord. Okay, there's my bitch. That's my biggest problem right now. However, the city's also on his ass for a lot of stuff that they're kind of justified on. At the same time, I wish they'd just kind of back off. There's not much he's going to be able to do. Let us ride this out. You interfere too much, you're going to clusterfuck something that's on its way to being good already. I wish we had a return to natural law. Fuck. I feel I'm failing to say everything I wanted to say in this video. In the 2 hours leading up to coming in here, and I had it all planned out in my head. I even wrote up a little text. And then when I went online, it glitched and I lost all the text. All of it just wiped out. I had to start again. It's like, okay, how much did you really want to do the video? Well, I guess you had something to say or you wouldn't have come in. So if I don't actually do it or do what I've done right now, I feel like I'm reneging on something that I have to do. You know, to get that support team. For me to try and create or to enunciate dialogue that's needed. Does that change how things appear? What the fuck? What the fuck is that? There. Does that change the context in which I'm speaking? Now I look like a train operator that didn't shave for a day, or 2 or 3. Doesn't even look like a lot. Look like a drunken sailor there, boy. Aye, laddie, to sea. I manned a canoe once. Got capsized in a sailboat. Oh, God, that's way too hot. More than once. I had to swim to shore. Fortunately, my dad taught me how to swim in heavy water. So we're bombarded with that we think we need. And I'm realizing that everything we really need grows from the ground. And if we invest our time in maintaining man's machinations of idiocracy, one of them, oh, the fuck is that ever hot? See, my battery charger here inside at this temperature gets so fucking hot. No wonder, you know, charge. And I'm distracted because the electronics. If I didn't have to come in and do a video or feel like I had to, how much more freedom would I have? Yet if I don't do this, first of all, I wouldn't even be at this camp if it wasn't for all the work I've done online. This work online got me to this camp in the first place. It's also given me the privilege of experiencing 6 months at the Six Nations camp. Again, outdoors and working with the Six Nations people. Something that I think is a real rare treat. It's something I'm really fucking proud of, actually. I kind of wish I'd behaved a little better when I was there, because if I'd understood the honor that was bestowed on me at that, looking back, I feel like I acted very disrespectful. So right now I got a couple other places I could brew the beer. But again, I'm going back into the same. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say here. First of all, we got no clean water. Now, the brewing of beer actually purifies the water a bit and brings it back to life a bit. Too high in alcohol, you're fucked. Not high enough, you're fucked. And get infections. At the right mix, I know I've got a body that actually, my genetic background is from a country that is based on beer. Beer and bread. In my youth, I used to say, bread, you can't afford real food. Right now, I'll tell you, one of the skills I really want to attain is how to make bread and beer out in the wild naturally, because I crave bread a lot. a lot, more than ever in my life. And I've learned a lot about grains and how just a few little ingredients, when they're dehydrated and they're all dried up, and you get the seeds and the pods, and you mix a few herbs, and you put them in a pot of water, and how it gels up and thickens, takes on a rich, meaty, fucking gravy flavor. You throw in one potato in that, and mash it up. All of a sudden, you got this really thick, delicious tasting. It's like beef gravy after the second day. I've made it a few times now, and it doesn't seem to matter what I use. But to have that freedom where you're not being interrupted all the time. Every little interruption to me is almost like someone throwing a hatchet into my back. It's been almost a week, and the landlord hasn't come over and yelled at me yet. It's the longest I've gone in quite some time. You know what it's like to be on eggshells, where it's always, oh, what now? And you got to put on this act. There are times I can't even talk to my own family because I'm mentally in not that state for the address being out in public, and I'm not being allowed that freedom sometimes. I'm being pulled out of my zone and having to do something when I'm not ready to. We talk about mental health. Let's do an entire broadcast and not some. I got some input for that. Well, looks like we're almost at an hour, and goes so quick, eh? Done these videos before with someone else, especially in the early days, because we used to all work between about 2 and 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 6. And I could get online and there'd be attention. Right now, basically on my own again. I've had a number of account glitches too, so not everything's meshing up the way it used to. Right now, I'm in the Earthos I David account, which the icon cover is a picture of Selena Gomez. Unfortunately, I've been I've been trying to rectify. I can't really go around parading like under her cover. At the same time, I know I'm authorized to do it, but I want to represent self more than anything. So I'm struggling with all the limitations that are kind of, I don't know if it's just I don't have the knowledge to rectify or what. I can't say. It's tough living outside every day. And at the same time, it's so fucking easy. The hard part is trying to interface between the two different worlds. That jumping in and out, where I got to take off all my comfortable clothing, dress up proper society, and be acceptable, shave, look proper, adjust my attitude, get rid of all the bias inside me, say the right things to everyone around me so that they can smile and be happy. Because God knows if you fucking disturb any of them and make them upset, everybody suffers. And yet we're all suffering anyway. I'm about to eat. Whoop. Now, this might seem almost a little bit frivolous and silly, but When you rip up that little tiny bit, by the way, that's I don't know if it's hemp or marijuana, but it's a hybrid plant that has a lot of seeds in it. I'm only going to get a half dozen or so of it. All right, Eric. And then these are the best tasting seeds for marijuana I've ever had. They taste like cocoa. I chew a few of them. I swallow a few of them whole. I go out and I eat my gourds and pumpkins. And I just munch away at the seeds until I'm contented. I'm finding I chew a lot longer. I'm eating a lot slower than I've ever. I'm on the lowest dose of my stomach meds for acid reflux that I've ever been on. I'm still doing okay. I only had one attack a few days ago and I didn't take it for a couple of days. Normally I got to take them twice a day. So I know there's benefits to a more natural lifestyle. And who wouldn't? I mean, I've been barefoot most of the time, even right now. Okay. You see, the more barefoot I can go, the easier the body temp regulates. And I'm hoping my feet will grow some fucking fur on them. I'm hoping that eventually I don't have to wear clothing because, quite frankly, I look at an animal. If I've ever felt jealousy in my life, it's only for them. I crave what the animals have. They are equipped to deal with Earth's environment as is. And I wonder what the fuck happened to us that we're so helpless, so dependent on shit we don't know anything about, and other people that don't know what they're doing either, and going down this fucking spiral of stupidity with all this plastic shit, all this man-made crap. Where's the natural habitat? I know there's things I say that technically are quite hypocritical, just like all of us. That's why I talk about heart speak and hope people can read between the lines and figure out what is it he's really saying? What is it he really wants? Where's his heart? I want you to know my heart. I think it's important. I might isolate myself frequently. I have to do that for my own mental stability. But I'm not a hermit. I love social contact. I very much enjoy engaging in social activity with other people. I got a friend here at the camp, Greg, that a really fucking good dude. He's got the right. He doesn't agree with what I'm doing, but he doesn't fight it or harm it or anything. In fact, he supports it 100%. That's a friend. Never ever makes me feel bad or stupid about it. Encourages me. Invites me over when he's got other friends there that might be interested or just to hang out. And doesn't pressure me in any way. Like, no pressure at all. And I really appreciate that. And then when I do go out and communicate, I come back feeling good instead of drained. Sometimes I go out and have to socialize and I come back feeling drained. And for the record, when the landlord comes in unannounced, it's not like he's a friend. It's not like he's a friend at all. To me, it's just an intrusion. It's almost like being invaded by police, except worse. Police have never actually gone that far. I don't know the solutions. I don't know what we're supposed to do to clear it all up. Do you know this? We're all big on carbon footprint, compassionate city, in our community find their happy place. I feel like we can all do a lot better on that. I'm not looking for handouts. I'm not looking for any kind of free ride or free ticket. I'm not even looking for the easy path. I'm looking for the one that is going to work sustainably forever. Because if I can't find that, I might as well not be here. And I know it exists. I've had tastes of it, that I've lived it sometimes for days, months at a time. You know that deja vu you get? And you think, oh, okay, I've been in that for literally months at a time and then get yanked out of it. And it's like, I fucking lost my flow again. Where the fuck? Ah! So if any of you can relate, in even the slightest way, your thumbs up. Much to me. Right now, I mean, for years now, I went from having thousands and thousands of, what would you call it, fans, supporters, whatever, encouraging you on to do what you're doing, to only a handful. Basically, on any of these vids on YouTube or even Facebook, there's generally only 2 to 3 people that ever actually pay any attention to any of them. But, you know, that's more people than if we didn't have this platform. There's about 20 odd seeds I've eaten. Little marijuana seeds. But if you've never eaten them, you don't know what you're missing out on. I personally love the flavor of them. I chew them. The only thing I don't like is sometimes some of them have these dry husks on them that get down here. A little bit of beverage helps. But if you'd eat that with a little bit of raw callaloo stem, throw in a little raw potato, I'm finding raw food doesn't take as much, and it goes a lot farther. You ever notice when you cut up your veggies, you can make a big bowl, but if you cook it, it goes down like this? Yeah, because you've killed basically all the nutrient. That fiber and everything, that's where all the bacteria that your body's is living in. So all you're doing is overloading the system and makes you feel tired. So I understand. Look at the color of that. It's going to get darker too over the next 2 days because it takes about 4 to 6 hours. Even by the end of this video, you'll probably see a difference from the beginning. Plus, I still got to go out and get some more. This year's walnut crop is the lowest I've ever seen. So I got about 8 or 10 of them. Like, I picked up several hundred, but animals are helping themselves to it faster than I can. Which is good because those animals are all around the place doing work. I love having the wildlife around me. See, the cool part is the wildlife respects another person's personal space. If a human could do that, I think we'd have peace globally. And on that thought, I think that was one of the best things I've ever come up with. Yeah. Namaste, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. 6:18 on this Sunday morning. This is Sunday Report at Camp Serenity. Some have referred to it as Camp Creepy because it is kind of creepy. I'm the, what do you call it? The cover boy, barn boy. Whatever. See, if you're going to make a story, you got a lot of Hollywood actors out there, right? Oh, let's face it, we're all Hollywood. We're all actors, performers, and portrayers, each and others, blah, 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 upon the gilded stage. And we make music, and everybody's happy because we all dance in frivolity, right? Back to you soon. Yeah, lots more to say, but I got to think about how I'm going to say it. Thank you for joining.